So we've had such a dramatic, so much quality. And this is what faces them, things moving very thick, very fast today. So much for us to get in, 1,360 meters and an estimated maximum speed of 125 kilometers per hour, 19 corners, starting with Cliffside, that drop, then Devil's Highway, around the signature turn. We watch them really gather speed down towards that heart and the bottom part of the track to that finish. And Mark's going to take us through the POV.
So this is the view from the top at the men's start. 4 paddles, lie down and into curve 1. So important to be smooth through the top, but the challenges start right from the top. Little curve 2, and then this is the first real challenge for the men. This curve 3 tends to want to push you towards the women's start on the left, into 4 where we saw the women and the doubles go into, and then this 5, 6, 7 combination, actually with a little bit more speed, not as choppy as it is for the women and the doubles, but so fast through the Devil's Highway into Shady. Sets himself up for the labyrinth. 11, 12, 13 coming in quick succession, and then curve 14, really tough for the men. Have to keep it off that right hand wall, try to get that straight shot through to 17, and they're absolutely flying. 18 goes by in a flash as they go uphill towards the finish, cross the finish line, sit up and let gravity do the rest.
Here's the weather conditions for you, Mark.
So it's getting a little warmer. We saw that sun coming out, air minus 1.2, but the ice nice and cold, minus 5.4, still hard ice that Placid is so famous for. And when this track, when the ice is like this, solid minus temperatures, it gets really tricky. So technical from top to bottom. Heard Billy Huber being interviewed earlier. He said, what's the most technical curve on the track? He said, all of them.
Tucker West will go fourth, the track record holder, 50.607. Lucas Peche will get us underway here. And as you can see, the big names then start to come thick and fast. Müller, Langenhan, Locke, Kindle in amongst there as well. Felderer, who had that dream time in Park City. Many potential winners there on that list. Looking forward to this. Things just starting to take shape. USA chances here as well, of course, at Lake Placid. Here are the final preparations. I always like asking Mark just what's going on, temperatures being taken, all the dark arts here.
It really is. It's such a dance for the coaches to try to get the sleds to the perfect temperature. As we saw earlier in the women's doubles, sometimes they just tread that line too close. We saw that disqualification for Raluca Stramatararu and Manolescu. But yeah, this is where those final preparations for the equipment. And behind them you see the start house. That's where the athletes, they'll be doing their mind runs, imagining their way down the track, visualizing. And then the spectators starting to gather here in Lake Placid. It's such an incredible venue for spectators and always such a great home crowd.
Yeah, fantastic. So, Lucas Peche, the Italian, who was 16th in Park City. Very much an athlete using that Nations Cup to find a way into the main fields. Such a strong Italian team, of course. It's tough when you're a little bit on the outside looking in. All he can do is keep going as quickly as possible. Peche gets the benefit, really, of being first down. And here he goes, the first to take on this challenge.
That curve 1 just picks you up and throws you down. This is the first big challenge. As you see it, tries to push you across towards curve 4 in the women's start. He's looking good through this combination 5, 6, 7.
The speed is visceral. It's absolutely ferocious here. There's the Peche split. As he flies towards the bottom of the course here and goes airborne momentarily.
This is where it counts through these chicanes, just gets pushed across, manages to push it into 17, high on the exit of 17, and 18, 19 safe though. Big skid in the finish curve.
Oh, and Peche in all kinds of trouble, but he gets over the line. What main concern is whether or not he's okay. Peche spread-eagled on the track, and they go straight to him. Dear me, our thoughts are with him, and we will let that be dealt with, but that was awful for Lucas Peche.
Just airborne off the end of the finish curve. As you say, thoughts with Lucas Peche. Such good medical staff here in Placid. But a big hit for Peche. Just shows how challenging this Placid track is.
And may I say as well, and I don't like to get all telly, but well done to our director for cutting away from that quickly. See Peche still not so well done for going back to it, but we'll let the medical staff deal with Lucas Peche here, but we could see that he was up and talking, which is the first bit of good news, and it just shows you it's worth, not that we want it to happen, but reminding people that this is a serious challenge. As you can see, Peche getting up slowly to his feet. And here's the mistake again.
You see that skid into the finish curve, almost out of camera shot. And when you go down into the gutter of the curve, there's only one place you go, and that's straight back up on the exit. It's a big hit for Peche. Strong, strong man, but when you hit at 125 kilometers an hour onto concrete hard ice and get up and walk away, that tells you how strong, how good these athletes are.
Track is clear.
Tough guy. And of course the madness is they go again. Peche was 5th in the Nations Cup, 4th, and therefore going next here, Andrei Manzi. Just a reminder, I should remind you, vastly experienced Andrei Manzi, the Ukrainian, that we start with 30, now that's down to 29, and it will be 20 in the second run for those of you who are new to the luge. And Manzi has so much experience, and he's going to need every single bit of that to negotiate his way down this super fast Lake Placid track. The early stages here for Andrei Manzi, and at the moment he's inside that time at Peche.
He is. That was a big start from Manzi. Big banana down the straightaway out of curve 3 though. That's going to cost Manzi, but Shady looking good. Just gently pushes it across to 11. And this is that 12-13 that the doubles found so tricky.
Manages to come out of that okay, still inside the time of Peche. We're heading towards where Peche made that mistake, and Manzi just about holds on to it. Good line through there, and Manzi leads. Of course he does. Over half a second ahead of Peche, but we'll see how that time looks in round about half an hour's time. But Manzi, pretty happy with that.
This is that curve 3. See Andrei just keeping it away, pushing on that left Kufen to bring it back into curve 4. You cover a lot of ground on that straightaway when you take the long route like that. So it's so important to get that straight shot from curve 3 to curve 4. But definitely easier said than done.
So Matvei Perestorin, who we are obliged to call the neutral athlete, came 3rd in the Nations Cup, just in front of Manzi and Peche. Remember the other athletes who qualified: Sokovic, Valazzo, Greiner, Rinks, Dukac, Harris and Gufler. They go a little bit later on. Gustafsson and West were 1 and 2, and they will go next in reverse order of that. But this at the moment is Perestorin.
Well, a little tap in the top between 2 and 3. We go very, very high in curve 10. drops out into the labyrinth.
Still in the red here, Peresteronin. Still outside the time of Manzi. He's going to need a very, very quick bottom part of the course here. And he's not going to find it. He's picked up a little bit of time, I think, but not enough. So Manzi still leads the way. Now, it's going to be really interesting, Mark, the two Americans to go next. Both of them certainly with chances here, West and Gustafsson.
Well, we know how good the Americans are on their home track. You know, Tucker West, such a competitor, fierce competitor. You see that very high line in curve 10 from Peresteronin. And Johnny Gustafsson just so confident right now after last week. I'm really excited for these two athletes from the US in front of their home crowd and with great start numbers.
Tucker West from Ridgefield in Connecticut. 3 Olympic Games appearances. Course record holder here. His dad famously built him a wooden luge track in the backyard after the 2002 Olympics, and his breakthrough in the World Cup was here in 2014. First US man to win a World Cup race in 17 years. Won again in 2016. He's got form down this course. He's done so much that is good. Can he perform here in 2025, Tucker West?
Good correction out of curve 3 for Tucker. Aggressive starter. Such a detail-oriented man as well. Straight into the green, 5 thousandths of a second, and the Devil's Highway. Complete blind shot into Shady.
Negotiate Shady pretty well, although a slight correction there from Tucker West, but he's still in those green figures here, but he wants to be a bit further clear than he is. Just under 0.2 of a second for Tucker West. The target initially here is Andriy Manzi, the Ukrainian. West, I think, is going to beat that. He is over 0.2 ahead of Manzi, but we'll see how that time looks. Firstly with Gustafsson and then beyond.
Well, a shake of the head from Tucker. There's not many people that are harder on themselves than Tucker West. Barrett holds himself to incredibly high standards, but look at this bravery, this courage, this position on the sled from Tucker West. Slightly bumpy through the top section, but then an inch perfect shot from 14 through to 17. Threads the needle through those chicanes, Tucker West, but we'll see how that time will stand up as we go down this start list.
Yeah, next his teammate, big smile from Tucker. Johnny Gustafsson, 5th in Park City, 5th here in 2023, won the Nations Cup yesterday. So showing good speed, good form, was USA national champion at Lake Placid in 2019. Gustafsson is excellent technically and can produce real speed. His first target is his teammate Tucker West, and it's a good start here, it looks like anyway, from Gustafsson. Inside the time of Tucker West by 17 thousandths of a second. Now he really starts to quicken up.
He is building speed through the Devil's Highway, but he's dropped down. He's 1,000th of a second back from Tucker West. This is where the home team is so good through this labyrinth. 13 to 14, and through the chicanes he goes a little far right, deals with it well though through 17.
It's mighty close between the two of them. The time is still there for Gustafsson if he can make it up in the bottom part of this course as he swings round his second. Just outside West. USA 1 and 2 after 5 athletes have gone, and a shake of the head too from Johnny Gustafsson.
Now, it'll be interesting if we see the start again. We will. I think there was a mistake here on the just cutaway. He just pulled into that left wall. Took a little bit longer to get in his sled. It's so important on such a flat ramp to build speed, to take down the track, to multiply. And then that high US line. It's a gutsy line going that high in 10, but it drops you out so nicely to 11 when you get it right.
Not quite only America, old chap. David Nursler, the German, to come next. 6th in Park City, 9th here in 2023. 24 years of age, based in Oberhof, from Schmalkalden, from that part of Germany and part of the German Armed Forces sports system. And he's inside already. That time of Tucker West, a good sharp start from Nursler, but already losing time on this top part of the course after a good start. Another who needs to pick up speed just outside the time at the moment of Tucker West.
That skid in the start curve really costing David Nursler. He's a strong starter, but when you lose the speed in the start curve like that, it's tough to get it back. He's a little late to 11 and high on the exit of 12, skids into 13.
And here comes Nursler, over 2/10 outside the time of West. Looking again to pick up that speed in the bottom part of the course to set himself up for the second run. He's 5th. Nursler 5th, only Peche behind him, and that is a disappointment for David Nursler.
Well, it was a choppy labyrinth for Nursler, but I think the damage was done in curve 1, and then out of curve 3, here we see on the start. And it's a solid start. He's a strong, strong man. But look at this. You see the ice spraying out of the back of the sled in curve 1. So flat through those top curves that that's just time. It's so difficult to get back. We put together a useful bottom of the track.
West leads. Gleischer now will go. Son of the 1997 World Championship bronze medalist Gerhard. Older brother of Nico. David will forever be known as being Olympic champion, the shock winner in Pyeongchang in 2018. Not known as a necessarily fast starter. He crashed out in Park City after coming 7th in Winterberg. That looked like a slightly wobbly start from him, but he's inside the time of West, so it was a good start from Gleischer. Appearances can be deceptive. Let's see how Gleischer navigates this top part of the course here at Lake Placid.
It's so interesting seeing that exit of 3, how the Americans drove it and how the rest of the world are driving it. It's where that home field advantage kicks in, as Nursler just losing time through this labyrinth. A skid into 12, so Gleischer just losing time through there and into 17.
You can see the time going, can't you, for David Gleischer? Those little mistakes just costing him. Another tiny one there, another small skid from Gleischer as he heads now over the finish line, but he picked up time on the bottom part of the course. Wow! Great sliding right at the end of his run, and Gleischer does go into the lead here.
That was fantastic from David Gleischer through the bottom of the track. You see him skidding into 12 here. And this is where it looked like the run was probably over in terms of getting past Tucker, but look at that position going into 14 as well. He arrested that skid, stopped the damage, and then accelerated through those bottom curves. David Gleischer, a deserved first place run.
Next up is Gintz Berzins. He's going to be excited. Next up in the World Cup in the new year, born in Sigulda. Youth Olympic champion in Lausanne in 2020. 7th in Beijing. Still only young. Still only going in one direction, Gintz Berzins. 8th in Winterberg, 10th in Park City. Looking to get closer to that podium here in Lake Placid. That's a good start from Gintz Berzins inside the start time of Gleischer. Can he build on that here, Berzins, as we look for this second split? He can build on it. Over a 1/10 of a second better than the time at the moment of David Gleischer.
8 to 9 is smooth. A little late into Shady, but it's a nice flat line through Shady. He's got a good shot into 11, setting himself up well for the labyrinth, but then hits before 13. Still in the green. And skidding into 17.
You can just see how it set him off his course, can't you? Can he make up the time now? He's still struggling to hold on here, Berzins. What a shame. Such a good-looking run, and the mistake cost him, and he's down in 6th. And it is one of those head-in-hands moments for the Latvians, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you see here in 12, just getting picked up on the exit. just went in a little bit too parallel, and that just throws you across to 13 when you carry all that height to the exit. And he handled this well, because you see that angle that he was thrown into that wall at, going airborne, but managing probably not to lose too much time with such a big mistake on the entrance to 17, but the sled a good 20 centimeters off the ground there.
Timon Gran Cagnolo's next from Oberwiesenthal. They're always asked for their hobbies. He listed his as building Lego. I'm not sure if he means that or not. Someone's going to have to ask him at some point. Gran Cagnolo trying to build something special here, maybe. Looking to beat that start time of Gleischer, and he's outside it. We could see that. He went very high on that first turn at the start, Gran Cagnolo. You can see them lose time. Sometimes the mistakes are so evident. So in the red, but plenty of time to try and pick up speed and put it right. Managed to pick up a little bit of that time, Gran Cagnolo, as he chases down Gleischer here.
He goes so fast through the Devil's Highway from the men's start as he negotiates Shady into 11. Big skid into 12 though, keeps it together, keeps the shoulders back, and just rides that chicane into 17.
Doing well to hold on to things at the moment, Gran Cagnolo. Gleischer is the target. Gran Cagnolo's well off, I think. 6th, over 3/10 behind. Another disappointment. So right now, Gleischer leads from West from Gustafsson. Andre Manzi will be a happy man at the moment. He's in 4th, but big names to come now.
There's that skid into 12, just throwing him up high in the exit. Absorbs the bump into 13. It's a great shot through 17, isn't it? But that transition to 18. Would be interesting to see that start as well. It looked like he pulled himself into the left wall on the ramp as well, which would have taken a couple of tenths off for sure.
No, those of you with a working knowledge of German will understand he wasn't too happy. Dominik Fischnaller, Emily slipping out of that top 3 yesterday in dramatic fashion. What about Dominik? Crystal Globe winner 3 seasons ago, 32 years of age now. Let's see if he can pick up speed. It's a poor start from Fischnaller, but now he goes into the green, motionless right now on that sled.
This is where the timing, the smoothness of Fischnaller, technically one of the best sliders, if not the best on the tour. Just moves so perfectly with that sled. As he goes through the labyrinth, 12 is good, 13's good, and he's still in the green into the straightaway, into the compression.
It's a really good run this from Fischnaller. Just see the elegance and the style on that sled. It's surely going to be good enough to overtake Gleischer. No! He lost time down at the bottom. He's right in the race, of course, but 5 thousandths outside.
Wow, that little skid out of the finish curve was certainly one part that would have cost that 5 thousandths, but that curve 3 was just as good as any American's done it today. And then flat, aerodynamic down the straightaway. Incredible shot that. And as you say, Dave, very much in the running. Look how close those times are. 11 thousandths between first and third.
Now, Leon Felderer, who was 3rd in Park City, and we saw all of the emotion, chair of the FIL Athletes Commission, so extremely popular man. That was a really great story, and they won that team relay as well. It was a glory weekend for him and for Italy, but now he has to restart. None of that means anything right now. So here goes Felderer, chasing down Gleischer, who leads his teammate Fischnaller, who is currently in 2nd. Felderer 7th fastest from that start.
That start curve so difficult for the visiting athletes. Just see 3 pushing him across to the left wall. He's only 200ths back though. This is a tricky section though through here. Big skid into 8, gets it back together for Shady. It's a high line through Shady and late into 11. Still losing time down the track as he negotiates 14.
Yeah, you can see that time going, can't you? Nearly 3/10 behind here. Felderer needs a very, very fast finish to keep himself in the race. I don't think he's going to overhaul Gleischer here, but can he just stay relevant? He can't really. Down to 10th, only Petche behind him. You can see what Armin Zergler thinks of it. That's a poor run from Leon Felderer. And I know we're talking split seconds all the time, but within that context, it's slow from Felderer.
You see that big loop in curve 7. Saw that ice coming off the back of the sled. And that top section, so difficult when you make a mistake up there. See, just falling off 12 there as well. Lots of small mistakes adding up for Leon Felderer, but those ones at the top really costing him time.
Doesn't look too disconsolate. I think you've got to have that attitude when you're a luge athlete, though, when the margins are so tiny. You could be disappointed, but you can't beat yourself up too much. Christos Apiods was 6th here in 2023, 13th in Park City. But this guy is capable. 5th in Beijing. Can he peak at the Olympic Games again in Milan Cortina? Let's see what his start time is like. It's good from Apiods, inside the time of Gleischer. The second fastest start we've seen so far comes from the Latvian, the son of Ivar, the brother of Kendija, luging in the family here. It's a good start from Apiods.
Still in the green at this point and building on that time. This edge of the seat stuff through the top labyrinth zone. Bouncing on. 12-13. Good, but a big skid into 13. Gets it back under control for 14. And a straight shot through for 17.
Great adjustment then from Apiods into the last 5 seconds of his run. It's the milliseconds that matter though. Apiods leads. And how he leads as well. That is very, very quick. 50.954. First athlete to go under 51 today.
That was a great run. C3 though, he comes right up onto the left wall. Keeps his calm. It was a good start as well. And then that little skid into 13. Falling out, and you just watch these small mistakes and you think, what can he do on run number 2? Because that was lightning quick. And there were a couple of decent sized mistakes he made.
Guess who's next? Super quick. Jonas Müller, the winner in Park City. Form here as well. Second in 2023. Big man. Great power. Favorite really to win every race he's in. What can Müller do now? Our World Cup leader gets his first run in these men's singles underway. All eyes on Jonas Müller. So big, so powerful. As he gathers speed, he is so dangerous. Needs to negotiate the technical part. Now he picks up speed, and he's going well at the moment here, Müller.
Well, Jonas Müller take a bow for that curve 3 exit, the best we've seen so far. As he goes round Shady, dives out into 11, and this crucial 12-13 transition makes it light work. And along the straightaway, but onto that little chicane that's tripped up so many of our athletes.
Doesn't trip him up though. Müller still in green. Remember, Apiods was very, very quick indeed. Oh, Müller's just outside him, but he's right in the race, of course. But Apiods shows just how quick he was. Müller does not overhaul him.
Well, after that top section, which was just perfect, see him come out of 10 here, just going a little late to 11. That makes the labyrinth, it just makes the labyrinth that little bit more difficult. And you just see there him just getting pushed late into 17. Handled it really well but probably had to do more work than he would have wanted to do down that straightaway. Remember, every time you steer, every time you correct, you cut the ice, you slow yourself down.
Must be funny sometimes, because you know about these minor mistakes, but you don't always know how fast you're going. He almost looked a bit surprised there, Müller, as if he thought he was going to look up and be in the lead. Nico Gleicher, the Austrian soldier, to go next. Third here, just behind Müller in 2023. Eighth he was last time in Park City after finishing fourth in Winterberg, a track that he really likes, Nico Gleicher. How's he going to get on again here with Lake Placid? As I said, he's got good form down here. Likes these fast tracks. At the moment, he's just outside the time of Appiod, but only just.
5.6, good timing, dancing through those top curves. Only 18 thousandths of a second back from Appiods. So that's a little bit of a skid into 12, but sets himself well up for 13 and 14. Now here's the straight shot, and it is.
Look how straight he goes. So impressive the way he recovered that little skid that Mark pointed out. There's another there. Will it affect him as he comes around the final curve? It will. He's into third, Nico Gleicher, behind only Appiods and Müller.
Well, pretty run through the top, moving the shoulders, keeping soft, soaking up the bumps. But here we see just that long skid into 12. Costing him, actually set himself quite nice for 13. But as we saw earlier, when you skid into the curve like that, it's like pulling on the handbrake. You lose so much speed. So you see these athletes at the top of the track, at the top of the leaderboard, have got so much to build on for the second run.
Next up, Wolfie Kindl. The busiest man in Lake Placid. He's the busiest man everywhere. The 37-year-old from Innsbruck, from that Eagles club. He's hoping for a home start to this World Cup season, but he didn't get that. He's looking to medal in all three events at Milan Cortina. Looking here, though, to negotiate as a singles athlete this Lake Placid course. Already he's behind our leader, Christos Appiods, whose time looks better and better with every run, and Kindl already over a tenth of a second outside of it here.
But one of those certainties in Luge is that Wolfie Kindl is always so fast in the bottom of the track. He holds so many speed records, held the speed record in Whistler for many years. But it may have left himself too much to do, but he's stabilized the time.
You see him right down that straight, a really good line there, a little bit high there, and Kindl charges round the final turn for third. Goodness me, Appiods was quick because Kindl flew down the second part of that course. He's right in it.
He really did fly, Dave. Absolutely right. That was his 12. Little high on the exit, but not bad at all. We saw so many doubles come unstuck there. That little bit of extra speed that you get from men's start can make that labyrinth run a little smoother as well. But Kindl, as you say, right in there, just a tenth back.
Representing Germany,
Max Langenhan won here. The last time there was a World Cup event here in 2023. Third in Winterberg, second in Park City. World champion.
Track is clear to start.
Will be one of the favourites for Olympic gold. Of course he will in February. Langenhan prepares. And now Langenhan goes here. First run for Germany. He is so consistent, Langenhan. And he's quick right from the start. Up on Appiods, and the third fastest start of the day. He's a very fast starter, Langenhan. So that's no great surprise.
Driving with great confidence, 5.6. into 7. Keeping the position, just getting thrown up a little bit on the exit there, but into Shady and looking good as he negotiates the beginning of the labyrinth into 12, high on the exit but gets away with it, and into 14.
Yeah, it's a good recovery, wasn't it? He went airborne momentarily, Langenhan, and he's still well up here, 0.04 of a second. We know how fast Appiod's was in the bottom part of the track though. What about Langenhan inside him by just over 0.03 of a second, so Germany lead, Appiod's in second, Langenhan produces when it matters.
Well, that bottom section, hope we get to see that again as well, 17, 18, 19. He was so smooth through there, but very high in the entrance of start curve. You see the skid, and that's where he was airborne ever so slightly, but kept his calm, soaked up the bump, and put down the great run, 50.92 for Max Langenhan, and a very well-deserved first place.
Up next, we'll have
Only 3 runs so far, under 51 seconds.
15.
Our top 3. Can Felix Lok, the Winterberg winner, legend of the sport,
track is clear to start 1 for
3-time Olympic champion twice in men's singles in Vancouver and Sochi. Feels like the light might be fading, but the win in Winterberg tells you it isn't. That was a mistake at the start though from Lok, and it's cost him time. Only the 6th fastest start so far for Felix Lok. A surprise to see someone as experienced as him making a mistake like that. Can he pick up the time? Can he stay in it as he heads down the course? He's picked up a little bit of it here.
He has, and he's got experience on this track. This is where some of the older athletes really make hay in Lake Placid, because they haven't had many training runs. But look at this, look at these splits. He's absolutely stabilizing it. Just 300ths back, and a good labyrinth into the compression.
And he goes inside Langenhan. He's showing some real veteran style. Felix Lok stays in the green around that final turn to lead. And after the start he had, there's so much improvement there. That is just outstanding from Felix Lok.
To give you an idea of how fast this track is, he's just a couple of tenths outside the track record as well. And from Felix Lok, after that big mistake on the start, this is where that relaxation really works on the sled, soaking up the bumps. Tough to stay relaxed at 125 kilometers an hour. But Lok rolling back the years there and putting himself in a great position.
Now we head for the other Nations Cup qualifiers. So often, not always, but often, we say the top 5 now remain that way. So it could be Lok leading going into the second run, but it doesn't always happen like this. But just to flag that up for you at home, Sokovic came 6th in the Nations Cup. Top 5 get to go first. 6 down to the final qualifier in 17. In fact, 20 Hyman go next. 13 remain. This is Mateusz Sokovic, part of that Polish squad that came 4th in that team relay, and Winterberg had us excited for a while.
Just losing time through the top curves. Just micro errors from Sokovic, but a good run, clean run, little late though, going into Shady as he sets himself up for 11. Little skid into 12, but sets himself well up for 13. Good bottom section from Sokovic, and good into 17 as well.
Still outside the time, well outside the time of Lok. Where's he headed? The target has to be top 20. It's top 20 at the moment, but will it stay that way? 60 for Sokovic.
Well, we saw him losing time through the top curves. Those top curves so technical. This is curve 3. See the steel's trying to bite there with that skid out of 3, and staying off that left wall means a lot of work. This is a skid into 12 as well. Actually set himself quite nicely up for 13 with that skid, but unfortunately that cost so much time. Sokovic But if he makes that top 20, he'll get a chance to do it again.
Yeah, that's really the target. Here's Alex Palazzo. The Australian crashed out in the second run. I say crashed out, crashed in the second run in Park City and recovered. Made a massive mistake, finished 19th in the end. Be wrong to say he didn't finish, but you know what I mean. He was well behind. 30 years of age, Australia's first triple Olympic luge from Queensland. Nice to be talking about an Australian in sport that doesn't play cricket right now. Palazzo in front of Locke's time at the start as well. Our fourth fastest start. Great opening here from Alex Palazzo.
Little tap before 3, but it shouldn't cost him too much. Alex Palazzo going through these top curves. Now this is like a home race for Alex. He's in a partnership with the US this year, so he'll be getting lots of good coaching, home track coaching here. As he negotiates 12, little skid into 12, very high on the exit. Manages to stick the landing though as he goes into the compression and into 17.
Still going well, Palazzo. That was an obvious error, wasn't it, as we head into the final 5 seconds. He goes high again there, Palazzo. But now he comes round that final turn, 11th for Palazzo. Pretty much guarantees him top 20. He'll be delighted with that, but he, like every slider, will know he's left something out there.
Really well. This is that mistake before 3. See him just drift towards the wall. And then that skid, very high line. Almost airborne off the end of 12. Manages though to stick the landing. And Palazzo looking good for a second run, absolutely. And maybe, just maybe, squeezing into the top 10.
Yeah, would give himself a chance, wouldn't he? Matt Greiner next from Park City. 18th there, which I think is a disappointment, but famously loves fast tracks. He's got one here. 6'1", big fella. Can Greiner force his way into that top 10? He's more than capable. Let's see how he starts here. Only 20th fastest from the start. The slowest start we've seen so far from Greiner. More dangerous the further he gets down the course. Uses his size to good effect, Greiner. Let's see.
Such a smooth top section from Greiner. Very, very smooth slider as well. But a big mistake going into 10. Just saw him clip that left wall. Managed to get away with it though in 12-13. Just having to put the feet down through 13 as well. Into the compression. This is not going well for Greiner through the bottom section. He's half a second back.
Yeah, you're looking for those clean lines, and there aren't too many here from Greiner. Around that final turn, 19th, but only Peche, who we saw have nightmares slower than him. And it's hard to see Greiner ending in that top 20 here. Disappointment again for Matt Greiner. Too many mistakes.
That was that mistake. Just tagging the wall there. And then high on the exit of 12, which has been so challenging for so many of our athletes. And then through the compression, you saw him just go across the right-hand wall. You know he was charging. You know he was going full send there. Matt Greiner, home track, huge opportunity for the lad, and hopefully makes the second run.
Kasper's Rinks has seen Bots and Plumer outstanding in that men's doubles. He's also seen Berzins go okay, and Apayod's right up there at the moment. So Cassis, who crashed out in his first run at Park City, trying to banish those bad memories. Here he goes, Kasper's Rinks. What about the start? You could see the mistake that he made. It was clear it's the slowest start that we've seen so far. And already you put yourself under pressure, and that's a poor line as well. You saw that bump into the left wall there from Rinks. Already over half a second outside the time of Felix Locke. This is a really ragged top part of the course so far from Kasper's Rinks.
There's two expensive mistakes. Hoping to find some redemption in the labyrinth. Very late into 13. He gets away with it, and it's a straight shot. He's doing everything he can to find something through the bottom section.
Well, Greiner was over a second behind in 20th. Rinks is going to go past him, but not past many. 19th at the moment. And there's some quality still to come, and I'm not sure Rinks is going to have a place in that top 20. A quick question about the start, Mark, if you don't mind. Surely the mistakes at the start, they're more avoidable than other errors, aren't they? You should have that planned in your head, and to do that, it's a really bad mistake, isn't it? Or am I reading that wrong?
No, it is. It's an expensive mistake, but you're dealing with one big lever in your back to power the sled forward, and then you're straight away changing to two independent levers with your arms. So they have to hit the ice at exactly the same time to get the sled to go straight. So we're seeing a few athletes pull into the left wall here as they try to get early to start curve.
See, when you explain it like that, it makes every bit of sense. Anton Dukac of Ukraine, 13th in Vinterberg, but in that fuller field in Park City, didn't make the second run. His start certainly better than that of Kaspers Rinks, but in the red right from the start. But remember, with these athletes, they're looking for top 20, and they're looking for a place in that second run. That has to be the ambition, just over a tenth of a second behind. Behind at the moment, Anton Dukac here.
Well, it's a rough top section for Dukac, but he hasn't lost too much time. He's only 2/10 back as he goes in through the labyrinth, but a big hit before 13 has to drop the feet into the compression out of 14. Dives out of 14, so much speed.
Well, that cost him time. We saw the error, nearly half a second behind at the moment, Dukac. The question is where it takes him. Takes Greiner out of the top 20, takes Rinks to 20th, puts Dukac in 19th, but I think there's still enough who are going to finish ahead of him here. Enough quality in this field. Anything up to 15th now, I think you're safe in the top 20, but I think Dukac is going to struggle.
See that parallel entrance to 12, just costing him, throwing him up on the exit. Now this is a great shot, isn't it? You see how the steels interact with the ice. With each little drive, how much ice you cut.
8 athletes to go. The next, the youngster, sort of, 23. Hunter Harris, young talent from Team USA. Still says it's really surreal to be part of all of this. 24th in Park City in the end. Hopes for better here. Wasn't sure about that start, and only 19th fastest from the start. Hunter Harris needs to settle himself here. Technical racer, good on tricky setup here, Harris. Almost 2/10 down on lock right now.
Well, it was a glorious curve 3 from Hunter Harris. Every inch the home athlete looking through there as he dives out of 10 into the labyrinth. Little skid into 12, but sets himself well for 13 as we go the straight shot. Isn't that beautiful? 14 to 17.
Yeah, great picture that. Gives you a real idea of the line that they're taking as well. And Harris 20th. 20th with 7 still to go.
Well, he's right on the cusp. And as you say, Dave, there's a lot of talent in this, dare I say, lower order. But there really is. See, high line in 17, but dives out into 18, keeps the position, and look at that position from 18 to 19. Just total commitment from Hunter Harris, total courage, great sliding.
Weston Gustafsson, 9th and 10th at the moment. The moment Locke leads, Langenhan second, Apoyod's third, Jonas Muller's 4th, Opie Kindle 5th. That's where we are right now. Alex Gufler to go next. The police officer from South Tyrol for Italy. 12th in Park City, wasn't there in Vinterberg. 12th too in that Olympic test event. So someone who really should be finishing in the top 20 and making their way into the second run here.
Alex Guffler, a little bit ragged through the top. I think what you said about the start, Dave, absolutely correct. They're pulling left. Oh, big skid through the top as well, out of 7. But gets it back together for 10. They're pulling left because they're so desperate, that start curve. But he's putting together a useful labyrinth here as he goes into 14.
Yeah, mistakes at the top, but managing to recover some of them here, Guffler. I reckon he needs to be 17, 18, something like that to give himself a chance at the top 20. Where is he? He's 20th. So now with 6 athletes to go, he is the one right on the cusp. Harris is gone, Rinks is gone, Griner's gone, we knew Peche was gone.
That was the mistake up top, out of curve 6 and curve 7. And it's just so difficult once the sled starts breaking away like that to get it back, because those curves, they come thick and they come fast. And he did a good bottom section here though, from 14 through to 17, but damage was done through that upper labyrinths, 5, 6, 7.
Josef Ninis then, the Slovakian. Didn't finish in Park City, but was 8th after the first run. Very, very capable slider, Ninis. Again, tempted up that left wall at the start, trying to find that perfect line. Another slow start. It feels at the moment like they're all falling into that same trap from the start.
Well, it's a great curve 3 from Ninis. He's giving himself every chance here. He's 2/10 back. And he's skidding through this top labyrinth. Needs to get it right into Shady. High line through Shady. He's got to get himself set up for this labyrinth now. And he does. 12 to 13. Little tap.
Lost a bit of time. It's now 6/10 exactly. He still has a chance though. Might just be a better split than some of the others here, but Ninis, I think, with a mistake there, might have lost time. He has. So hanging on is Guffler. 5 to go. That's a shame from Ninis.
That really is. So much experience. Joseph Ninis, the elder statesman of the Luge Tour. You see this high, scary line through 10. Diving out. Made a good job of it. You say this, such a sport of experience. And needing to use all that experience out of 10. And also here, from 14 through to 17.
Track is clear to start 1.
If you're Alex Guffler right now in 20th, you're starting to think I might have a chance here, I think. It feels like the track might just be slowing up a bit. Repilov, another of the neutral athletes, making his first World Cup appearance of the season. What can he do? 15th from the start, which certainly isn't the worst we've seen in the last few runs.
Just dabbing a foot out of 3, Repilov. Shouldn't cost him too much. It gave him a nice line through into 4. And putting together a useful run through the upper labyrinth.
Already just over 2/10 behind Locke, but that doesn't matter. Locke's the leader. Big slide there from Repilov. Skid that he manages to correct though, as he comes down now towards the climax.
Just bouncing into 17. Getting thrown around by those chicanes. Finish curve looks good though, crosses the finish line into 17th place for the neutral athlete.
And that will be enough unless the next 4 all go quicker, which feels unlikely. That knocks Guffler out.
There's that power slide into 12. The athlete's trying to get early to 12. 11 doesn't send you there naturally. So sometimes you have to give it a little bit of help to get it across. But when you do that, it's very tempting and the sled can just break away from you, and we're seeing that happen.
Just when everything was going well, he gets a red light. Repilov. Now, Valentin Cretu. That great run in the Nations Cup in Winterberg, and then in the singles, finished 12th in the end. 26th in Park City. Nations Cup has to be his way into the main event as it was here. Again, the target top 20, 17th as things stand at the moment.
Cretu through these top curves. Not bad sliding from Valentin. Again, lots of experience there.
As you've already said, not a bad day to be an experienced athlete, this. It counts for plenty. A little bit high there on the exit, but okay here from Cretu right now.
Yes,
Cretu coming down to the bottom of the course, and he's not going to challenge that time of lock, but 21st outside the top 20. Anton Dukac, by the way, is the athlete clinging on to 20th.
Well, Cretu, the experience counting there. As you see him just out of 3 here, just coming so close to that left wall, but doing absolutely the right thing, keeping calm. But that late entrance to 12 costing him. He falls out of 12.
Popular guy.
Track is clear. 2.
Svante.
1 for Svante Kahola of Sweden.
Here goes Svante Kahala then. Brother of Tove. Saw her go in the women's singles. He was 24th in the Olympic test event. He'll be looking for top 20 place here. He's a very, very capable slider, Svante Kahala. Ready into the red against that time of lock, and he went really high there. Does well to recover it. Just thrown his momentum a bit though, Kahala. He's already nearly half a second behind lock. That's okay if he can pick up time on the bottom part of the course here, but he isn't doing. Nearly 8/10 outside that time of lock. Looking for a little bit of extra time here if he's going to make that top 20. He isn't. 27th means he's level with Peche. That's a poor run from Svante. Bearing in mind, Peche made that massive mistake, and he could only match that time. His fellow Swede to come in a moment. Moberg's only 2 sliders to go. Dukac is looking pretty good at the moment in 20th. Poor old Valentin Cretu just outside him. Bare margins. Yeah, Kahala knows that wasn't good.
Track is clear. 2. Start 1 for Rasmus Moberg of Sweden.
So Rasmus Moberg. Only 2 athletes can knock Felderer and Dukac out of that top 20. That's what we've come down to now. And here goes Rasmus Moberg, 31st in that Olympic test event. And he has become a kind of 20s and 30s athlete. Top 20 really, and featuring in that second run would be a bonus for him certainly. Some decent lines here though, and he's picking up speed, Moberg. A little bit high there and a bit bumpy on the exit from 12. Moberg now, we look down this straight and we look for the speed there. It wasn't bad from him. We seem to have lost our clock at the moment. Moberg went airborne momentarily. Now where has this taken him? Moberg looks very serious right now.
Well, that's interesting, Dave. I'm looking at the live ticker.
I'm looking at the same thing.
So we could be looking at a rerun here for Moberg. But he's down as a 41.6, which would have been lightning. As you just see into the start curve, that mistake and that high line through 12 on one runner out of 12. What you know with this Swedish athlete, so is all you get is full commitment. What I love about watching Rasmus is his start. He is so aggressive on the start.
Well, we'll tell you about what's happened with the timing there, because we don't have timings. As Mark said on our live ticker, he's leading, but I don't think he is. It didn't feel like a run that was that quick. And here's Andre Hyman, Czech athlete, to go last. We'll wait and see if Moberg needs a rerun there, but this will be Hyman still. Oh no, we have a clock back now. Hyman in the red right now. It's not the full clock, as it were, but it gives us an idea of just how Hyman is doing.
Well, big mistake out of 3 for Hyman, but he dealt with it really well, kept it off the wall. And the labyrinth, a little choppy, but not bad at all from Hyman. This is where he needs to find something, though, through that tricky chicane section.
See what he's found. Hyman closing in. It's going to be well outside, 27th for Hyman. And we will wait to see what official time they give Rasmus Moberg. Felix Lok leads the way right now. Not officially, he doesn't. In fact, he does. They've updated the times now. Moberg is 28th, Hyman 26th. So in the end, Ducatch did hang on to 20th. Felderer hung on in 19th. And in that second run, which will not be too far away, well, the big stories, 4 Austrian athletes all bunched from 7th to 4th. Appiod's with a dream first run to be in 3rd, and then Langenhan being beaten once again by his teammate Felix Lok. Will it be Winterberg all over again? Felix Lok certainly hopes so. And well, what a great second run we have to come here. It's so tight, the times between them. We've got plenty of potential winners there. Great run from Alex Falazzo as well. 11th he is, so every chance of a top 10. The 2 Americans, 9th and 10th. Hunter Harris missing out. So too, again, disappointingly for him, did Matt Greiner. So that's where we stand after our first run of the men's singles. Loads of action still to come from Lake Placid. Most pertinently, the second run, of course, to decide the men's singles as they start to spritz the track down there. And then we will have the mixed singles and doubles to round off a big, long day in Lake Placid. There's that glorious view. We'll let the spritzing continue, and we'll be back for the second run of the men's singles in round about 25 minutes' time. We shall see you then.